ahead and call the Wednesday, May 29th, 2013 Board of Works and Safety meeting to order. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Roll call, please. Susan Marks. Here.
Chris Armstrong.
Here.
John Miller.
Present.
Approval of minutes, May 22nd, 2013.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the May.
I would second that motion.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, pass it on a vote of 3-0. Approval of claims in the amount of $65,223.80.
I'll make a motion for the approval of the claims in the amount of $65,223.80 as presented.
Let's second that motion. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passes on a vote of 3-0. There are no licenses for consideration today. Are there any visitor comments? Hearing no visitor comments. Under old business, I believe this will be a code enforcement issue. John Rush, 511 Schultz Street.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I talked with Mr. Rush a couple times since our meeting last week. In fact, I talked with him yesterday. He was unable to attend today. He had a doctor's appointment through. He has made some efforts, and he is working toward getting it cleaned up. It's better than what it was this time last week, and he's assured me that he will get it cleaned up.
As long as we're seeing progress, I'm okay with that. Is there any questions for code enforcement regarding Mr. Rush's property at 511 Schultz Street?
I have none.
Hearing none. All right, if you would keep an eye on it and let us know. All right, thank you very much. No further old business. There's no new business for consideration. Under reports, we'll go right into Building Commissioner.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I had submitted my report for review, although late. I apologize for that. If there's any questions on that report, I'm open for those.
I have none. I would make a motion that we approve the building commissioner's report as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. I do have one question. You know when the asphalt will be laid at the new Mike Anderson facility?
I don't have an exact date. They thought 7 to 10 days after last Friday. They got some rework to do on electrical conduits for the new lighting system and everything. They thought 7 to 10 days.
Yeah, looking good. All right.
Thank you.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of accepting the building commissioner's report as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Passes on a vote of 3-0. Code enforcement officer.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
Starting with the first property, you have in front of you my report for your review. Moving on down, before you give consideration to that, 801 Helm Street, the gentleman that lives there is buying the house on contract off of Bernard Gupta. I've talked with Bernard and the gentleman that lives there. He has applied for disability, he's been approved for disability, and will get his first check in about another 2 weeks. He will clean it up and pay to haul it off then, the trash that's there. Meanwhile, he has moved it into the garage to take it away so that it's not unsightly. So that one I will continue to monitor. 410 Wheatland Avenue. This is an ongoing problem that goes back. There's a gentleman that lives behind them that's constantly complaining about this, along with one other neighbor. They have made a little bit of progress, but nothing like they should. I would request that the board make a recommendation that the street department go over and clean it up. There's just a little bit of debris left, not a lot.
Can we see photographs? Proper notification's been delivered?
Proper notification has been made.
Did they sign to accept the notification? What was the date of the signature?
Delivered May 13th. See where it says delivered May 13th. M. Dewey's the one signed for it.
Okay, and has there enough time by ordinance for them to be?
Yes, first letter went out on April 24th. Notice to appear went out on May 10th.
Did they receive that notice on April 24th?
That's one that we just send out in general mail. We don't send out signature required.
Take a look at this. 4/22. The date on these photographs indicate April 22nd. Has there been, you say there's some progress that's been made?
Not a lot. There hasn't been any progress made in the last 2 weeks or so. Mr. Zimmerman that lives behind him there is the one who
Okay.
calls on a regular basis.
Any questions from the board? No? I would make the motion that we order the property cleanup at 410 Wheatland Avenue based on them receiving proper notice and enough time has elapsed between the notice and the time that they're given. I'm not exactly sure what that is.
The first notice went out on, what was the date, April 24th, and today is the 29th, so
Okay. And can 4/24?
4/24 and today is 5/29, so they've
Okay.
had over a month.
And I guess that's my question. My concern is if the occupant denies receiving the first letter and that they claim to have only received the second letter, which was sent registered mail, and the one they received on the 13th, do we have to go by, and that's probably a question for Randy, do we have to go by the letter that was signed for, or can we just go by the door hanger, the notice that was left on the door, which was also on 4/22?
I think you are allowed to go by the door hanger on 4/22. It's safest to go by what we've approved and signed.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it either way. I think it's up to the discretion of the board, but how you want to proceed.
And the letter that was delivered on 5/13 ordered them to appear today, is that correct?
That is correct. Today's the 29th, so that would have been 15 days ago, 2 weeks ago they signed for the letter. Roughly 2 weeks ago.
I make a motion that we order the property cleanup at 410 Wheatland Avenue.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Passes on a vote of 3-0. 400 Humphrey Street.
400 Humphrey Street is another ongoing problem. It goes all the way back to last year. We did one cleanup on it, and additional trash showed up in the yard. Back when the mowing crew went over to mow this year, the neighbor across the street came over and kind of gave them some heck, wanting to know why they were just mowing and not cleaning up. They were sent proper notice. It came back. The house is in foreclosure with no forwarding address to the registered owner. It still lists them at 400 Humphrey Street. Every letter that we've sent them has came back. I'll show you the pictures of the trash and a copy of the letter that we sent to them. There's the letter we sent to them. Here's the status.
Delivered.
Delivered to us, returned
Okay.
back to, this is the address it was delivered to.
Okay. Okay, and the house is in foreclosure.
Right, it has been for over a year. That's the first letter right there. This is the notice to appear. Pictures are,
Do we know which bank?
no, we don't.
Okay.
familiar with this one.
Yep, I'm very familiar with it. Same old, every year. It has been this way for years. We've already mowed it once this year, haven't we?
Yes, it's on the mow list for second repeat.
And this is debris that's left around the house right now?
Correct.
We need to see. Nothing will happen with this house. We could wait for 6 more months and nothing would happen. So I would make the motion that we approve the property cleanup located at 400 Humphrey Street.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, pass on vote of 3-0.
The next 3 properties, 1118, 1120 North Street, 823 North Street, and 1220 Broadway have all been, the cleanup has been completed by the property owner, so no action to take on those properties. So with that, I would respectfully request approval of my submitted report.
I make the motion we approve the report as presented. It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, pass it on a vote of 3-0. Thank you, George. Superintendent of Public Works, Mr. Williams.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Morning.
Dan.
I respectfully submit my report for the Public Works Department. Hopefully you have time to go through, and I'd be glad to answer any questions. This is a very busy time of the year for my department, and there's a lot of people. We were very busy the last weekend. Had a lot of people that I should thank, but I probably won't do that because I always forget someone. But it was a good effort from all departments in the city. They all pulled together, and the help was very much appreciated.
And as usual, I had a lot of compliments on the cemetery and the way that it looked, especially knowing that you battled the weather this year, the rain, and a few sick days and a few employees that dropped out, and you still managed to do remarkably well for the conditions. So I did forward the email to you, didn't I?
Yes, sir,
I
you
received
did.
a very complimentary email about the state of the cemetery and the help, the staff. You make me look good.
That's what we're here for.
That we approve the Superintendent of Public Works report.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded to approve the report as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passes on a vote of 3-0. Chief of Police and the Fire Chief were both excused today. They'll have a more detailed report later. Board member comments?
None.
Hearing none. Miscellaneous business, including ADA Section 504 compliance and concerns, and any other matters not already considered. Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
We're adjourned.